Firstly, I'd like to offer solidarity from the Socialist Equality Party to this rally and the worldwide struggle against Israel's genocide in Gaza. I'm here to appeal to everyone present to attend today's meeting called by the Socialist Equality Party in the Spectrum Centre immediately after this rally, demanding freedom for Julian Assange. Assange is a heroic founder of WikiLeaks and one of the world's foremost opponents of imperialist war and war crimes such as mass murder and ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians. We are urging the global movement that has erupted against Israel and its imperialist backers to come to the defence of Assange, who is rotting in Belmarsh, maximum security prison, and faces extradition to the United States and a lifetime in prison for exposing US and British war crimes in Afghanistan, Iraq, and around the world. And his arrest was clearly in preparation for further war crimes that they've committed in Palestine. Everyone here knows that to ram through their support for funding and support and funding for mass murder and ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians, and to suppress the mass opposition that has erupted in the working class and young people, the imperialist powers are escalating their huge assault on democratic rights. They are attacking the right to protest, the ability of journalists to honestly report without persecution or threats of death, and criminalising opposition to Israel's crimes as extremist or anti-Semitic. On the 14th of March, the Sunak government even redefined extremism to include advocating that the UK's parliamentary democracy and democratic values and rights are not in line or seeking to challenge or overthrow this political system outside of lawful means. This is clearly the criminalisation of opinion and thought rather than actions taken, and came right after Sunak denounced these very Gaza protests as anti-Semitic and extremist, and called for police intervention into them to stop the so-called calling of violent jihad, which, as we all know, isn't happening. The unelected Prime Minister even denounced the election of George Galloway as a threat to democracy because he won in opposition to Israel's genocide. It is vital that protesters take up a political struggle to defend themselves and the leading figures within the mass anti-war movement from these attacks. And that is especially necessary when protecting those who expose imperialism's crimes, including Julian Assange. The world powers have given a blank check to the Zionists in Israel to target, lock up and kill journalists reporting on their crimes, now with almost 100 journalists and media workers confirmed dead. There are 16 injured, 4 missing and 25 arrested, and there's a slew of threats to their families and loved ones. The murderous campaign to silence the opponents of war and war crimes began with the railroading of Assange into prison and has culminated in a filthy campaign to destroy him. The Biden administration is seeking to extradite Assange to face charges on espionage that carry a life sentence and possible death penalty. His only crime is the publication of documents exposing the war crimes of diplomatic intrigues of US imperialism and its allies. And those who are seeking to put him in prison for life are the very forces right now that are committing genocide in Palestine. Since being arrested and dragged from the Ecuadorian embassy in London in April 2019, Assange has been confined to a maximum security prison in Belmarsh with a devastating impact on his health. The persecution of Assange is intended to terrorise all journalists and whistleblowers and block reporting on war crimes of the imperialist powers that could inform the mass movement against war and genocide. We urge all defenders of democratic rights and opponents of imperialist war and genocide to get involved and join the fight to free Julian Assange. These movements must unite and oppose all manifestations of capitalist barbarism, which the most vicious and violent is the genocide against the Palestinians. So if people want to come to this meeting, please just see me afterwards and we'll walk straight over to the Spectrum Centre. Thank you very much.
Thank you. John, would you like to come and say a few words?